We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. What's up, Chicago, and welcome back to Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Hip Hop, aka Queen Star. And I just want to thank all my listeners for tuning in to today's show. This is a very special edition to Speak Your Mind Radio. We getting down like this. All right. We're gonna start talking about what's going on in the community, okay? What's really happening to people of color here in the States. And my guest I have with me today, he is a motivational speaker that I actually came across on Facebook, and I'm gonna get to that. But I really wanna bring him on right now. So without further ado, introducing Sherman Lamont. What's up, man?
Hey. What's up, peoples? What's happening, Miss Nicole, Miss Star Perry?
What's good, man? It's been a minute, right?
Right. It's been a minute since we met. We've been talking a lot, and it's just good to finally be on the show.
Yeah, definitely. It's a whole new vibe. I'll say that.
Yes.
Well, here on Speak Your Mind, we usually start things off with an icebreaker question for all my guests.
Okay.
So, Sherman, what's your purpose?
My purpose, it's changed multiple times, but now that I've gotten to know myself a lot more, I know that my purpose is a gatherer. I am a person who was blessed with the ability to bring people together. People always seem to trust me. They come to me. And now I know that my purpose is a gatherer. I don't know everything, but I know that I love people and it just radiates. And so when I get people that come to me, I bring those people together, and then we just get more and more people, just like the same way I met you.
Exactly. I love that explanation you just gave, because it leads straight into what my purpose is. When I first came across you, it was on Facebook, and you seemed just inspirational with your videos and things. And so I told you, if you didn't mind, can you just kind of just talk about what your purpose is, maybe in a video? And you did it. I said, what? I was surprised as heck. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool, whatever. And guys, this was all the way back in January. You see where we at now. This is July. Right. So obviously what Lamont told me, it was true. It set off a whole new thing in me, and I ain't stopped since. So thank you. Right. I really appreciate you, Sherman.
That's right, for real. And I appreciate you, because little do you know, I was trying to hide from my purpose, and more, I was coming out of it. But at the moment when I met you, I hadn't really been making videos. I would make them and not share them and stuff like that. So, and here in my city, people is not as tuned in. So when you asked me a question, I felt obligated to answer that question and make the video. And, I didn't write it down. I just freestyled the video, because I get the answers from what I need. And it was inspirational for me to have you ask me a question. And it just made me embrace my inner guru. They say when you reach the new dimension or the fifth dimension, you start embracing, feeling comfortable telling people information or answering questions. And you brought that out of me by asking me that question. It was so great. That video led to another video, and people asking for more. And I'm like, man, yes, God. This girl, look at this girl.
Dude, it's like you've been here already, though. I never knew that story.
Yeah, you did that. So, and that's why when I made that video, if your listeners go back and watch it, they'll see that I gave a shout out to you, because it was you who inspired me, even without meeting you, just you asking me that question and having the faith and even asking me the question was like, man, I was blew away. So
yeah, there's definitely some vibes popping off of each other, and that makes for great conversation. So thank you for coming again on the show.
mm-hmm.
Okay, talk about your Facebook group, U.n.t.a.m.e.d Myndz, and like, I mean, yeah, talk about it.
So U.n.t.a.m.e.d actually, way back in like say the 90s, I was in a rap group and we called ourselves U.n.t.a.m.e.d. We was just out of control, and so that's originally where it came from. And then, so what happened was, as we got older, we only did a lot of underground music. And so we never was one of those mainstream, go to the club ass dudes. We just, was on the street. So what happened, I had a family member that came up and he was getting pretty good at music. And so I used that name and made U.n.t.a.m.e.d music. But this time I made U.n.t.a.m.e.d mean something. And so it stands for a unified nation taking action, mentally erasing deception. So I'm going to say it one more time. A unified nation taking action, mentally erasing deception.
Wow.
And it was through music.
Wow.
So because I knew already way back then that I had to do something to make a difference, but I for sure didn't know what I had to do. So then we created a lot of music. And then I decided that it was time to fully let it off the leash, basically, because it's always stood for that. But with the music, I just felt like people wasn't going to grasp a movement way back in 2005, 2006 that was geared towards changing the minds and thoughts of the people in the community. So we did it with music.
Okay.
And, so that's pretty much what it was in U.n.t.a.m.e.d. And so then when I reinvented it this time, I dropped the music and I just did U.n.t.a.m.e.d Myndz, because now it is time more than ever for us to take back control of our minds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would like to repeat what U.n.t.a.m.e.d means. So a unified nation taking action, mentally erasing deception.
And the deception is we can't be together. The deception that people, the melanated people cannot come together and have love for each other, business and commerce and respect for each other, and then also turn around and do work and business with the Europeans and the Mexicans and the Hispanics, and the any other race. Because once we love ourselves again, then we can get out here and do that. And I think kind of that's where the deception is, because we kind of been messing up by not healing ourselves first and then trying to integrate. And I think the healing has to take place before we integrate, but there's deception that we can't heal, that we can't come together, because we're taught to believe in the system in America that we are each other's enemy, So it's the mean mug when I see you, or the bitch, what you looking at, and that's just what's projected since I was a kid. I can't think of no other way of life that it was in the hood. But, when you really, really think about that deception, that came from a third party. That perception of it was created through movies and TV, the boys in the hoods and the menace to societies and the colors. That stuff is what shaped our culture away from the king and queen and loving and caring and village mentality to the violence and aggression towards each other.
Yeah, and Black women being over-sexualized too.
That's right.
Okay, so what I would like to say in regards to that, it's like what Michael Jackson said. It starts with the man in the mirror, literally. Like yes. You said, we've been systematically thinking or taught that, we can't fix each other. You can't until you fix yourself. You have to play.
Right.
I mean, just based off what you said, you have to pour in that excess energy into self so you can pour onto others. And that's the only way it's going to reciprocate and make sense.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to face that reality that, it's you are the problem. Your way of thinking is the problem, but those are not even your thoughts. Those are trained thoughts. But the more that I speak out, and this is what's crazy. So the more that I speak out, I'm noticing that there's more people like me.
Yeah,
that has broken free of the
mental chains. Exactly. Yes. Yes. So true.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so maybe if we just all start saying stuff, we can meet each other and we can start our own nation in the nation.
And boom, bada bing, bada boom.
And then when we separated from all the brainwashed thinking, come on, man.
Come on, preach, man. Preach, man.
I believe that's what we are upon right now, and that's why you and I are connecting.
Yes.
That's why I'm connecting with all these other spiritual people.
Yes,
there's
God.
A lot of Pisces I'm connecting with, and I'm a Pisces myself.
Hey.
44 this year is my master number, so I kind of feel like
that's special.
This is it. We gotta just move forward, but we can't go back. And I appreciate the reactionary people, like. You only mad about the system shit when it happens and you get broadcasted. Those are the reactionaries. And they'll be there for a few months or, and then the next thing will come up like Will and Jada and you won't. Then everybody else is back to their regular programming because that's what it is. But it's still people like me and you on a day like today that we still, we've had incidents. An incident happened in Detroit. And that's going crazy right now, but we still have to stay focused on the goal, and that's unifying the nation and bringing the love back to our people.
Exactly, Sherman. You just said a mouthful, but I don't want to miss the key points here. So let's get into the incident that happened in Ohio to a young lady that worked at the car dealership and her boss leaving a noose-like item, twisty, left on her desk. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
So the city that she lives in is in Omaha, Nebraska, where I'm at.
Okay.
The incident happened in Iowa, in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Sorry. It was Council Bluffs, Iowa. So it's just right across, like we got our border is just like a street over, And so Miss Vicky, she worked at the Auto Mart 150 in Council Bluffs. It's a car dealership. And she became the top saleswoman. She was the only Black woman there. There was another Black male there, and the rest was whites. It was dominated by whites. If y'all don't know, Council Bluffs, Iowa is the whitest of all the whites of whites. So she was over there. She became the top saleswoman. They had a record in that city over there where it was 25 cars in a month that one person sold, and he had the record amongst that company. She broke it and sold 28 cars. So she consistently was being pegged, you just, you got all your people, your brothers and sisters, all the little racial jokes you could think of. So, and I kind of feel like, she knows that stuff was wrong. And the moment it started getting to a point where
they didn't give a fuck.
They didn't give a fuck. She had to say something, and I'm glad she did. And I'm glad she even brought me in. So there was an incident that happened in Omaha, Nebraska during the riots that happened here. And a young man lost his life to a racist bar owner named Jake Gardner. He was extremely racist, and he was looking for somebody to kill. And incidentally, he shot our brother James Scurlock and killed him.
Damn.
So that had been in the news, and Nikki was at work, and she, they was at work. When she walked in, the people there was already talking about it. And when she walked in, she overheard them speaking on it in an ill manner. And she said, hey, let's not talk about politics or anything that happens outside of work, because we're going to be on different sides of the fence, And so that that day, they ended up having to wash a lot of cars. No big deal. She's a salesman. When it's slow, they wash cars. She said after they got done, the boss came up and he gave her 3 more keys and said, here, go wash these. Mm-hmm. So she thinking, okay, I'm going to go wash them anyway, and didn't complain. However, Miss Nikki does have a doctor-signed disability that does not, that requires her to not be in the sun for long periods of time. Mm-hmm. And so even though she had that, she still went and she did the job. Mm-hmm. But when she came back in, she said, hey, you know, when you hired me, that I'm not supposed to be outside all the time like that. He said, so what, you complaining? You want to go back on welfare?
Oh, my God.
And she was upset, and she told him, you don't know me. I've never been on welfare. She walked out, and the manager, so this is the general manager who said that to her. The actual store manager who works there all the time, he overheard it. Mm-hmm. So he comes outside and he tells her, hey, you know, me and my family been on welfare before. And she like, listen, I've never been on welfare. Just stop talking to me about fucking welfare.
Right.
So later on that day, she had a employee come in, and the customer come in, and the customer came in to buy a car. And it was a black woman and her son and Nikki sitting at the table. There's a black guy behind her that works there, and then the white manager. Now, the general manager had left, so the manager was there. He walks up behind Nikki, and he says, hey, I got something for you. She like, what? Turn around and look, and he sets down a bread tie that he done tied into the shape of a noose and put it on her desk, and he started laughing, and he walks out the dealership. So now you got 3 black people sitting here like, what the fuck is that, and what is this supposed to mean? So immediately the customer is going bazonkers. Right. And Nikki is trying to remain professional and calm her down. Well, the black guy that's sitting behind her that works with Nikki, he like, fuck that, that's not funny, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, long story short, she did end up filing with the Equal Opportunity Employment. They told her that the incident is a federal offense, it's a hate crime, and she needs to file a police report. So she did that. Mm-hmm. She had to file it with the Council Bluffs Police, not Omaha Police. Mm-hmm. And so once she filed the report with the Council Bluffs Police, they made the call to the witnesses, which is the dealer, the black guy who works there, and the black customer.
Yeah.
The black customer, of course, she told the exact same story of what happened. The brother who was there with her that worked there told the police to him it wasn't a big deal. Mm-hmm. And of course, the dealership guy, then he turns around and he says, oh, I didn't put a noose on her desk. I made that in the shape of a ring.
Bullshit.
Which it was a straight end and a circle. A ring, anybody knows, even if you ask a 5-year-old to give them a bread tie and tell them to make a ring, they're going to take that little straight end and make that into a circle. And so it looks like the shape of a diamond or something. Like, we're not stupid. Mm-hmm. We know what you did. It's just he realized what he did. And I actually missed the part. So when he walked out and he came back into the dealership and he seen how angry everyone was, he walked past Nikki's desk and wrote, I like you, which is his way of trying to cover up what he had already done. And he knew everybody there was upset. Yeah. So, yeah, we actually finally got the news to pick up the story. They wouldn't say the name of the dealership because
some bullshit.
The police is saying that the case is closed unless they get further evidence. But they took the news from her. They took her statement. They took the witness statement. Only evidence, I don't understand what evidence do they need. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are with that right now, because we just got that news yesterday.
That kind of pissed me off for 2 reasons. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first reason why it pissed me off is because the dealership's statement. They try to come off so professional, like we here at the blah 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 dealership, we value our customers and we value our employees too, and we're a part of inclusivity. I can't say it, like inclusiveness, like to bring everybody together. But this goes down, and you sit and smirk and don't say shit. You just let it go. Right. Right. So the second thing that pisses me off about that, not only the lack of professionalism on a dealership, but the lack of professionalism on a journalist. Why in the fuck Would you sit here and tell this lady you're going to make a story about it, but you can't give out the dealership name? Really? Oh, really? Come on now. That's some bullshit. That's some fluff piece news shit. And it kind of makes me mad or whatever, because it's just like, there's so much there that, check this out. This is just what I'm thinking about when I thought about it. If she hadn't said anything at that moment, that was an invitation for them to say, yeah, we coming to your house next.
Right.
But she took action though and left. And that was good, because nobody took it serious. So where was she supposed to go? Who was she supposed to call? Who's going to protect her?
Right. And that's how I looked at it when I seen it. Now, only in the defense of this journalist, because John Chapman is a really good friend of mine. He's the only one who would even do the story in the city, because nobody else. She's been trying to reach out to other people before I came along to help her. They wasn't even thinking about running their story. The only reason why he couldn't say their name, now his personal opinion of the situation, he cannot interject into his work, because that's the kind of standard they hold the reporters to. So he knew who it was. Since the police said it was a closed investigation, that's why he couldn't mention their name. Okay. If it was still open, then he would have been able to say it's against them. But they consider that slander in the business if the case is closed and it's already over, like you bringing up old stuff. Oh. But they closed it so fast. I mean, you closed it based off of what? You talk to the owner and he says, oh, I did that saying I like her. I mean, that's still harassment, right? Regardless. And then because the other employee said that he didn't take it serious because he's in fear of losing his job. Because he sees what happened to Nikki when she, told HR and they refused to help her. She asked for them to connect her to HR and they refused that. And also, now get this, the girl who was sitting at the desk with Nikki, when she called to finalize her paperwork with a finance manager, she told the finance manager the situation. Like, this dude set a noose on the desk. I was so pissed off. That's how mad she was. This finance manager, instead of going to HR like she should have and filed the complaint with the HR saying that this customer told me this about this person, she went back to the person who did it, which is Aaron Kephart. She went back to this person and told him what the customer told her, which then in turn, Aaron called Nikki trying to question her about, what did you tell the customer? What did you know? What? Yeah, she didn't tell the customer nothing. It was the customer. But see, that finance manager, she should be held accountable for violating company standards. If somebody gives you a report on a complaint, you're not supposed to go and tell the complaint person who they're complaining about. You're supposed to file that with HR. Wow. I've been in that situation. I know, as a manager or anything, you're supposed to file that complaint with HR and let that person that's complaining and the person who they complained against deal with that. Yeah. Not for you to go back and tell them. Right. Well, yeah, I jumped the gun on that one because, yeah, I guess you're right. At least your reporter friend did bring alert to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really jumping the gun because, listen, Nicole, you are a warrior. You're one of them women that is ready to go. And I respect you so much, man. I really do, because the more time I spend in the streets, I'm telling you, these women is ready, boy. Y'all I know. Ready. They love that dot life. They love the dot life, boy. I don't know why. That shit lonely. Woo, girl, y'all ready. Oh, very funny. Oh, you just got to focus your energy on something else. Like, seriously, just like, come on, be ambitious about something else. Right. Yeah, leave that nightlife alone. I just got lost in the conversation. I'm really happy that you're here because of two reasons. I feel like I've been asked to. It's a lot I want to break down. I've been asked to talk about more issues, social justice issues like this before, and I've always kind of shied away from it. Kind of like what you said, you would hide from your purpose. Right.
And that is so intriguing to me, especially to hear a man say that, you know? I mean, I don't know. I just think that both men and women can be vulnerable at times, you know?
That's right.
And so I was hiding from him. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stick to woo woo woo. So, you know, like what I know. That's like the best bet. And I'm like, okay, woo woo. But I would go on other people, you know, podcasts and talk like how they were talking, you know, and I'm like, well, shit, I could do this too, you know, but I hid from it. But then it started coming back up again, resurfacing, like, why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't doing that? You know? And then when I met you, you put it like 6 months later, you put into perspective, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm a little, you know what I'm saying, up there, and I got issues too, but I'm trying to work through them bitches.
That's right.
Yeah, so I like talking like this or whatever because I really have a big, strong heart like you do, a compassionate heart. I love people. I fucking love people. I really fucking do.
Me too.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
love
what
everybody.
we share in common, and that's what drew us together. That vibe of that heart. We in completely different cities. And, we was in a conscious group, and I said something in there, and you was like, "Man, that's real. Can you say something about purpose?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah, that's that connection. though. I feel that.
Yeah, I'm like proud to be sitting in your presence. So I wanted to talk about more about awareness, bringing up awareness. There's the second part. The second thing I wanted to say was there is this elite organization on Instagram called the Meeting of the Minds. Mm-hmm. And they're all about addressing social injustice and steps needed to reform systematic oppression, you know, so to speak, those things. Mm-hmm. And they have their first virtual town hall meeting live on Zoom on July 15th. And I think your participation will be needed. So
yeah, I would be more than happy to join that Zoom. Just make sure you send me the link or the invitation. I'll jump on there.
I sure will, Sherman. And to anyone out there who has a voice and they wish to use their talents for good, you guys can follow the Instagram page today at meetingsoftheminds.cst. That is at meetingsofthemind.cst. And I hope to see you guys there. Yeah. But anyway, back to you, Sherman. Oh yeah, so I mean, if you want to indulge more, we can. Other than that, I have a few games we can play.
Okay. Yeah, it was just a couple other things. I mean, I think that we really need to touch on with our people. So, and none of this stuff is written, so excuse me if I stutter or nothing. It's just I just get the information as I give it to you. But
beautiful.
What I want to make sure that I pass on to your listeners is this. The program that we have been under for centuries, it affects both sides.
Yep.
We have the side of the programming for the Europeans, where they've been programmed to believe that their skin makes them better. They also have been programmed to believe, since they have generational wealth, it makes them better. And without even understanding how they obtain that wealth, and I can give it to you as simple as this, it's like bringing everybody to one place and letting all them go and holding us behind the start line for 400 years. So by the time we get out there, all the land is claimed, all the businesses are started, the government is formed, the money is in circulation. That does not make you better because you have that much of a head start to claim and procreate and do everything else in this country. That part of the system is what gets them fucked up. And that part of the system is why when they have struggles and can't handle their depression and things happen, they take a lot of lives. They take their own lives. They take their family lives. They go to schools and shoot a lot of people. They cannot handle that depression. That's part of the system that kind of fucked them up. And that same behavior, you know, you see that with kids that's raised privileged and kids that's not. You have the go-getter attitude, and I can handle being broken, falling off, and coming back. And then the people who just can't handle it. So that part of the program is why they are in the situation they're in. Now, before, there used to be more people stuck in that program that was white. What we're seeing is a shift of their culture coming to us, because now their grandpa's stories can't be validated, because you can interact with Black people online now. You can go out and mingle with them and meet up with them secretly, and your grandparents' stories don't add up to what you're realizing in person. So those new younger people that actually get out and don't listen to the stories of their elders, they have turned away from that racist white stuff. And for that, I applaud them. But I'm not about to jump for joy, because it should have been over. And for the Black people, the programming for us on that side that I want to tell us about, because we have to hear it, even though we don't want to. And I love all my people, so don't get it twisted. But I have to let y'all know that the side of the programming for us that's hurting us the most is believing in the fake culture that we have been brainwashed to believe that is ours, and it's really not ours.
Damn.
We are that of royalty. We are that of love. We are that of knowledge. And we are also that of spiritual connection.
Yes.
We have lost our spiritual connection, because once you have a spiritual connection, then you have a spiritual guidance. And with that guidance, you'll move so swiftly and so spiritually and connect with so many people that you would leave the hate from your heart. It would not be there. We always have been the loving and caring and spiritually knowledgeable people that built pyramids and monuments that still exist to this day for us to see our greatness. And that's what we have to get back to, and leave the culture that we've been programmed to believe that's ours. And just to name a few, coming down on niggas for the summer with big rims and shooting at niggas and fuck that bitch and twerk that ass and all that shit is not us.
Boom.
That's a created culture that was made to, one, make us look foolish, spend our time on foolish shit, and keep us unfocused on our spiritual selves. And I just want people to understand that if we don't get back to who we are naturally, who the people that we naturally are, we are going to, one, end our existence. These people are pushing us into a race war. We are not ready for that, because the first thing niggas is going to do is go out and kill little Pookie them that he been wanting to kill since last year, and then start trying to fight the whites. And this is the shit we don't need. We don't need a cultural battle anyway, but we definitely don't need it to happen right now. It might come to that, and that's the honest to God truth, that it might come to a race war, because this is a sign of control by the system, showing that they can push us against each other and keep creating forms of division like religion, mask versus no mask, Black and white, rich versus poor. These all have existed for years. The mask versus no mask is new, which is really a good one for me, because I just was 100% sure they couldn't think of no other way to separate us, but then they did. So now, if we don't face the reality that the fake culture is our culture, right? Because it's getting so bad, people are shooting people on camera. They're shooting kids. They're shooting babies. They don't give a fuck. They're shooting your house. They shoot you 10 times in your head, even after the first one is your dad.
Yeah.
And it's getting so bad that is only going to end with our demise, man. We're not ready for that. We have to snap out of it. But here's the thing. Like I told you the other day when we talked before this, there has been the birth of our army, and they're here and they exist. And that's the new age, and that's the millennials. They are the fighters. People talk shit about them. They might talk about their weird ass ways and shit. You know why? Because these people are different. Mm-hmm. They're not the let's pray about it and leave it in God's hands.
Kumbaya niggas.
Yeah. No, when you fuck with a millennial, you gotta pay for that shit. And these motherfuckers will go. And that's why I love them.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm telling you, man, that is our army. And I'm so happy they're here. Without them, I would be lost. Because these niggas that want to go to church and pray every time something happens, or hands up, don't shoot, and all that shit. Fuck all that. We have to get real with each other and break down all that old ideology. But what's crazy is see, the kids, they got the police against them. They got the white people that hate young black and white people together. They got them against them. And then they got the old heads against them who don't believe that they should even coexist or that they are smart enough to do anything because they don't go by the old ways. You trying to do it this way. Back in my day, shut the fuck up because your day's been over.
Right. With your no neck having ass, but you want to have an opinion, no.
Right. Back in your day, you wore sandals. Shut up. Yeah, we doing some other stuff, man. So it's a new age, it's a new generation, and I'm happy to see them here. And I just want them, if they see this or hear this, I mean, to reach out to me. I want to put it together nationwide. I want you to have your section in Chicago. I want us to come together.
Sure.
The meeting of the minds, all that, we need to come together.
Yeah, so you're definitely right about. I'm sorry, Sherman.
Oh no, that was it. I said.
I was just saying, like, you're right about getting back to the roots, our roots of things, like our spiritual side, G, because that's where we divide from. You feel me? We are stardust from the galaxies. That's you know what I'm saying? And you're right. When you do connect with your inner child, you forget about the hate. Like, gee, what is hate? I don't know.
That's right.
I think G. I think it's love too.
That's right.
You have your natural high.
You're right, because it's love and truth. Mm-hmm. It's what's going to change it. Mm-hmm. And the millennials, they live by the truth, and you know they love each other. Shit, they fucking anything that moves. Shit.
Oh, Jesus, Lord. No.
Yes, but I still respect that. Do what y'all do, but let's just soldier up when it's time for this shit, because
for real, though.
The battle that we are enduring and that we're going through, it's been happening for years. It's just... It seemed like it's just being more and more put in our face, and that's that good versus evil battle. And it's a spiritual battle. And some people is just being absorbed by the bad spirit, and the good spirited people, not only are we feeling it, the shift in our heart, in our consciousness, but we're being magnetically drawn to each other.
Together. It's time to unify. It's time to stand up. We heard the trumpets. So, whatever religion you are or not religious, I don't give a fuck. Just apply it as necessary. If it resonates, resonate, nigga.
Yes. Brother Malcolm said, leave your religion in the closet. We'll be stuck all day trying to talk about religion. Just leave it at home. Shit.
Right.
Leave your God at home. Leave it between you and your God.
For real. That shit is wild, though. Anyway, okay, let's play some games.
Okay.
All right. These are just like movie quotes, the famous movie quotes from black movies.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's funny. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's definitely Training Day.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Okay. Bye, Felicia.
Friday.
Yeah.
Epic. Yes.
Let's see if you get this one in. Marcus, darling.
What is that? I know the movie with Eddie Murphy. He hit everything. That nigga fell in love with, but what's her name? Yeah, but I just can't remember the name of the movie.
You know the movie is Boomerang.
Boomerang, there it is. Yeah. You know, it's funny that you bring that movie, that girl in there, the really cute girl. He looked at her feet and they was jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, he was talking about her and he was like, I used to always think she was cute till they showed her feet in that movie. I said, Dad, that was not really her feet, man.
I don't think it was either.
No, it killed his whole dream about her, though. He didn't want to think about
it. That is funny.
Yeah, that dude, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Sherman, for coming on. And hell, let me be real. Thank you so much again for being the piece to my puzzle that made me stay awake instead of being awake at one moment and then hitting the snooze button and going back to sleep, G.
Right.
Never doing that again.
That's right. We never doing that. Mm-mm. Never turning the blind eye. Break the free from the eye.
Like, what was that? I saw that. Shit, okay.
Yes.
All right, Dale. See you next time, man.
All right, you take it easy. It's all love.
Yeah. Peace.
All right.
Listen to me. On my life, I don't have no real enemies, but I know everybody is not a friend to me. I show my people love, that's why I always get it back. And I stand up for my family, one phone call I will attack. And real recognize real, so I don't see you haters. And I'm not talking about my brothers, I'm talking about these snakes. They smiling in our face, but turning us against ourselves. Killing all the black kings to keep the queens from getting out. We 40 cal, self-trained, so we don't need the army busting down my door. I wish these martial law bitches try me. We some psychopaths, raised in the projects, and I ain't met a motherfucker yet who can dodge a tech. Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. They call us militant and racist cause we still resist the brainwashing and genocide by this government. My people waking up and now at least we more conscious with plans of unity, but still we must proceed with caution and breaking the cycle of thinking like slaves. Gather up knowledge and unchain your brain to change the situation. Death is what our race is facing. We in a nation where they shoot us first, ask questions later. Black lives mean nothing in their eyes, we just a perpetrator. And marching and holding rallies, that shit not doing nothing. We tried it Martin's way and still our fucking people struggling. It's time to educate and elevate from all the hate. Our future generations is at stake. We don't have time to waste. Cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Hey, cause this the